gay, via Yatiga, Lizage, I say, oh, Miamurai, and Badrio, I'm a part of my trade, well, on it goes away. Alazaibo, that Gianna, we say you, Papa Mora, get me up when anywhere, Mamba Sibole, l'arrangeur parmi national, très trop fort. We are glad that we want by say so where that you are. I want Saibo. There be you. Do a play your power back for Monia. Papa Yingita, petit, brother Fassoni. Kaidaka. Pena Paya Posa go, Mambo Panyago. Apollo Akaway. One Posa Yonkaway. We are for them one money up a play you can. None just see one. What's the matter to your way at your Emma? Nesetoka With this one go where they have it. Go on, yeah, I can't salute. What's to get that to your way at your one? Emma Nesetoka Now with this one go where they have it. Go on, yeah, can't get. Now getting your bed when I know sound favorite. Let's do what you just grab it to work on. Say your book on ya. Are you a now? Saibo, that Gianna, we say you over. I want to you come on, need a boy. And yes, I'm going to buy them with Mwege. Hey, Am I gay? What I just be on and in the world. Oh, Saibo, that Gianna, we say you will. So like it up when you never went. Netoni, are you? Are you? Oh, but just say, oh, yeah, I'm a walking about. Kaidaka. When you go to work, I go to let you know halfway. I just see how this is what I say. Saibo, yeah, you are doing them one by one name on tele by Potamu, Tanyada. Planning Papa, Benegasia, Paka on Lage, the Buesipo, FSC. Then yes, we got you again up one. There was a bob where they dress you, Mammo, Balibo, that Giano, and I will say you over. I will. Saibo. In back to a blank, I do it so say. I just want to lay a bat to an hour, you see you okay. Wait, you, Ivo, Saibo. On the green, I walk like a bad day noir. So I said, son of one, you're naturally found clever souffle. Say, Bobo, that Giano, and I will say you over. I'm done it. Where are you? So on my way. I know Russell, they play Russell. South Africa, your fault, your way. And you're for you, won't be and my one. I'm the Pope and Yagu. Don't finish it, I say, oh, Clavodio. Say, if I can work, we are coming. Say, Bobo, that Giano, and I will say you over. Our papers were removed, Nindes were removed. Pamuka, do not get the Sico Bala. Clavodio, I say. Say, I say, but you know, can one day, yeah, your family, your thing, one day, now. I reward, I say, oh, but yeah, I'm more down. Say about that, yeah, no, and I will say you. I wish to rule the you, but yeah, so better you went. Say about that, yeah. you know I say, it's a mayo. That was a yes, you also won't when you. I'm original, I say.
Just good evening, good evening. Did I say good evening? I'm still sleepy. You can't blame me. 6 o'clock a.m. in California time. Good morning, folks. Sam Santo. Okay, wake up, wake up. Okay, I'm up. Good morning, folks. Sam Santo, I brought up the radio again this morning. We elected to do this early this morning. We say thank you very much, those of you that are joining us. I know it's very early in your area, but please get people up to join us. It's going to be a very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting show here this morning. I just started. Good morning to you all. Safety, folks, safety. Saturday morning, those of you that have to get out and go to grocery shopping and what have you, be careful out there. It's summertime. Uh, People went out last night. They're now quiet. Some of them are now quiet to themselves, but they're on the road. Be careful. Know your surrounding. Know where you are at all times. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. Let's get started. Safety. Take care of your car, and your car will take care of you. There's no question about that. I have one other subject matter that I can go on here before I get on to my own Liberian, of course, discussion. As you know, yesterday morning it was announced that one of the uh, cook guy, our culinary guy, he cooks a lot, and he goes all around the world. Anthony Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain was died. He died yesterday. He, I believe they say he committed suicide. But the reason why I'm doing this here too on LeBron Peru because I too enjoy his show. And all yesterday when I heard this, it's like losing a friend. I mean, I don't know him, never met him before, but this guy was in Sierra Leone. He was all on Africa, Congo, went places, and to see these kinds of situation is very bad, very bad. I was hurt. I was hurt because he have given us, those of us that follow the media, he has given us some things, especially nowadays, those of us that are living here in America, where the political situation, the media things is everyday drumbeat of this and that. And he used to be someone, at least in the evening time, you tune into him, you're watching, you see other places, other country where they eat. And what I used to do when I watch this, especially when you go to Vietnam, I see the kind of food they eat over there. You compare it to Liberia, pretty much the same. They eat snails over there. We eat snail. Those kinds of stuff. So I really used to enjoy it. And to hear that and that he passed, that was something that was very, very deeply hurtful yesterday. So again, I know they probably family members don't even watch this show, but that's okay. To the family, we also express our sympathy because he's somebody that touched all of us. Actually, at least it's been stated several times that he brought people together just by the food. He went to Sierra Leone. If you watch that, when he was in Sierra Leone, the first kid in Sierra Leone that was doing surfing, okay, surfboard, he showed that. He showed how the people were doing their how do you call it, barbecue, fish barbecuing on the beach. He shows that. So that's just to tell you that people in Sierra Leone do the same thing people here in the United States do. It doesn't matter where you are. But because of us being able to watch that, we were able to see that, okay, our brothers and sisters are doing the same thing everybody else is doing. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Again, to the and one last thing I want to say here, and I know this is not unique to Anthony Bourdain. We ourselves, Liberians, every one of us that just got out of the war, were traumatized. There's no question about it. But I think perhaps we're able to internalize that better than most people. But if those kinds, whatever you are as a Liberian, sometimes life can be really tough. And you start having these kinds of thoughts in mind. Well, I really don't need to live. I don't want to call somebody. Call somebody. You can even call 911 and they will help you. There's no need if it is because this is a disease. It's not something that people should look upon or badly because you want to commit suicide. There's a disease. It's something that gets you to that point. Now, I'm not a social scientist, so I'm not speaking about that from a social scientific perspective here, but I'm just speaking to that based on my own Samson experience. Okay, now that I've thought of that, where in the world that will make me Samson to take his own life? Nothing. I don't see anything. My mom died. I came myself. Where I came myself up. I beg you. But anyway, other people are different. Okay, so if you come across situation where you think life has given you a bad hand, you say, I tried my best in Liberia, the war didn't take me. I come to the people place, I'm suffering like this here. I don't need to go through this. Please call somebody. because you're not God. You don't know what the next step is. Why you think say this is the aim for you? If you just bear with life, just hold on for one more day or so, you will see what will happen. God didn't put you here for nothing. So if these kinds of stuff come through your mind, call friends. If you think the friend gonna be laughing at you, oh look man, want to kill himself, because we like every little thing you somebody tell you, you will try to hold it over the person here and utilize that later on when there's a conflict. Oh, and you don't want to tell him that you want to kill yourself. Kind of those kinds of stuff. You're thinking, well, if I tell my friend, maybe he will hold this over me and say this the next time when we're having some sort of a disagreement. Don't even call them. Call 911. They will help you. We'd like for you to be alive. Look at this guy. He has money. He wasn't broke. But it's a disease. It's a disease that is in your mind. There's certain thing that people with money, he has money, but there was certain thing that was missing. And every one of us go through that. There are certain things in life, certain time in life, and you think, say, no, this doesn't worth it. I mean, you're so low. There's nothing you look up. There's nothing that are giving you hope. But you, when you get to that point, you dig deep down and see reason that yes, I'm going to live because of this. Some of us have gone through those kinds of things. I mean, there's no question about it. So I'm just saying to you this morning, if you have these kinds of situation, especially here in the Americas, okay, you don't get no pa, you don't get ma, you're going to school. Before you look, no money to go to school. How am I going to do it? You're washing dishes to go to school. You don't even have car to go to school. Eh, this kind of life I'm listening. What would I ever enjoy? And then the next day, what you go visit friends, you see their houses, you see the car they're driving. Those are emotional things that will bring you down. But please don't go that deep. Life ahead of you is sweeter than anything else. Okay? So if these kinds of stuff come to mind, a lot of people turn to drink alcohol to soothe themselves. Well, that's okay. If that's your nature, that's okay. But I will go further than that. Instead of going through hurting yourself, putting yourself through a lot of pain because the alcohol eventually going to wear out and you're back to the same position. To avoid all of that, seek professional help. There are people in this country don't mind putting money into you to make sure you stay alive. Look at this. Look at him, some guy. He's 61 years old. He has money. He has a daughter. My goodness. He has those of us that have child, that have kids. He has a daughter. So how deep was he to do these kinds of stuff to himself? When I first heard it, the first thing that before they told us about suicide, the very first time I heard it, the first thing that came to mind is the kind of food the men were eating all over the world. Maybe they didn't agree with him. So maybe the food poisoning or something like that. Until this, I said, no, maybe he had a attack because he used to smoke and all that kind of stuff. So maybe he had a attack. Oh my God, the kind of places, all the world, all over the world, he goes, he drink this, they go and drink that. So they don't agree with it until they say suicide. And I'm thinking, why? Why would somebody who have a life ahead of himself, he has a TV show that is on tap, he has money, he travel all over the world. Why will you do this? Okay, to take your own life for what reason? Okay, so again, that's just me. For some reason, one of my lights is not working, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm just saying to you, fellow Liberians, brothers and sisters, if these kinds of things, now don't tell me say, I'm a man, you kind of thing can happen to me. Mm-mm. You're a human being like any other person. When you get this low, please call somebody. Call somebody. It's better for you to stay alive and you come on my show and cuss me up than for us to say, oh, no, please. Okay, that's all I want to say. Let me move on to my own subject matter here this morning. It's very sad, though. It's very sad. And again, to the Bonin family, we say we express our sympathy here on Liberian Public Radio because I think all Liberians, uh, and I would go far to put my foot out there to say most African, and appreciate that because he goes places and we see that. Okay, let me move on. Let me move on to my next subject matter here this morning. Folks, good morning. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. It's been a very hectic week when it comes to Liberia and the Liberian issues. I don't know exactly what is happening to us, but some of us will be the voice of reasoning. I would say that about myself. Okay, even though I'm a liberal progressive, but my view on the subject matter here this morning is kind of center. Okay, I see one side, and then I also visit the other side, and I say, okay, what is the divide here? How can we bring people together? That's the kind of thing that I'm going to be doing. Okay, but it's getting deeper. Our conversation is getting skewed. Our conversation is going places where we don't want to go. It seems to me we are not prepared to agree to disagree. It seems to me that we are not prepared. I'm not going to say we don't have the ability because we do. We're human beings. But it seems to me that we're rejecting all reasoning. As long we don't agree, that person that is not in the same line as we're speaking, the person is a demon and must be cast out among us. How can you have a conversation like that? You can't. You must be able to be willing to let people have their own saying. This is getting deeper. It's the kinds of things that will bring conflict. Remember what they say about fire core is already charged out. It doesn't take much for the fire to start. People are now making comment. What I've been reading about somebody threatening the life of the president. For what reason? Because you don't agree with the policy? What are we going? Are we going to go back to the old ways of behaving? Rule by threats? If nobody agree with you, then that person is no longer a decent citizen? Is that what we're gonna? Is that how we're gonna rule? I will approach that. Let me go on to my subject matter. Good morning, folks. Join me, Samson, to Liberian Public Radio. I will continue to talk about the roads and the road network in Liberia. And recently, the issue about Mamadou Bungagu, who is from Burkina Faso. Let me put his pictures up. And this one, I will take a little bit of time on that before I go on to my road and road network. I will take time on this a little bit. I visited two shows yesterday, two opposing view shows. Their show yesterday. I visited Classic D show yesterday morning when I was at work. It was morning time to me. The reason why I went on there because he was discussing some stuff that I thought was hitting home, and I needed to get involved to make him to understand respectfully. Respectfully, I'm not going to go anybody's show to be rude, even if I don't agree with you. I will respect you because that's your view. And who am I to say your views are not the kinds of views need to be expressed? I'm not going to do that. So if I visit your show, respect will be there. And first of all, I want to thank Classic D for even allowing me on his show. Thank you very much, Classic D. We appreciate it. But the reason why I visited Classic D show yesterday, Pop Zawie, who has his own show, Gabriel Zawie, is my brother, cousin, first cousin, what brother? Let's put it this way, okay? Because when we were growing up in total, somebody touched me, he coming for you, and so because of him, I became very. You can't touch me. You touch me, Gabriel will come. And people know who Gabriel is. When we were growing up, there's another guy in Chicago. I will not call him, but he know himself. Those people, you don't play with them in total. You play with them, you look for your own trouble. But anyway, that's so. But Classity was talking about something that Gabriel was in. People say Gabriel involved in the war and what have you. I'm not going to repeat all that he was saying, but I went on there to let him know that Gabriel left that country maybe 4 or 5 months before the war started. Okay. So when he came, he went to Houston. And the thing about it, when you're making these kinds of statements, you got to be very careful because you can't travel in this country without document. And what if Gabriel come back and said, "This is my passport. Look at the date that I enter America." Then what make of your show now? You're making these kinds of assertions, and the person can show. So I went on there and explained to the young brother to say, "Look, you guys, and when these people go on air, the Pazawie, the Class D, the Prophet Key, when they go on air, you got hundreds of Liberians. I'm not too sure if they're all Liberian, but you have hundreds. Their numbers over 200-300. So there are a lot of people that were looking at them. People follow them. People listen to them. So I went on this young man show to say, look, my brother, even though I'm here to tell you about Gabriel, but I respect you and I respect what you're doing. But why don't we use this power we have to bring people together? Okay? Use this opportunity to explain to people who you're supporting and why you're supporting that. This medium should not be used to castigate, to insult, to say things that are not true about each other because we're not helping anybody. And I guess he respected my view as well. Okay. Before I went on, some other person was on his show and telling him he's not educated, and I thought that was very low because that's not my place to say who's educated and who's not educated. If I want to express that view, I have my own kids. If I pay for their college tuition and they don't show anything, I have the right to say that. But if somebody is grown up person, who am I to say you're educated? What is the definition of education? Somebody from Total, from Wembley, can he not be a highly educated person than somebody with PhD? So what is the definition of education? But anyway, that's besides the point. So I told him I don't prescribe to those type of view who is educated and who is not. That's not my place. Whatever way that I can say, I will say, but that's not my place. So he accepted my explanation. And after that, I didn't hear him talking about it again. I guess maybe perhaps I hope I have put some sort of a dent in that type of conversation. And I went on Pop Xavier's show as well. But the view that I expressed on Past Xavier's show were not the same that were expressed on Classic D. I also told Past Xavier that we need to use this medium to bring people together. But my explanation last on Past Xavier's show, which people didn't appreciate either. Because people were saying the same thing they were saying about me on Classic D's show. Oh, the man, yeah, he lying, don't Classic D kick him out. They were saying that. The same thing they were saying about me too on Pazavia show. Something told he had to defend CDC, he had to defend CDC, and you know what he talking about? Kick him out. So I think I'm in the middle. If people from Class A D want me out, and people from my own brother's show want me out, that means I'm doing good. No, but on a very serious note. So they think about it. And Prophet Key, I hope to visit Prophet Key show one day. I'm going to do my best to continue to go around these people show to make them to see reason, to use their medium to bring people together. Or maybe, mm, let me think about this. Perhaps we Liberians love controversy. We Liberians love to discuss things. It takes side. Once you take side, the people, those who agree with you will come to you. Those who don't agree with you will come to curse you. I think that's the kind of society we like to live in. But if we do that, to be honest with you, where will we move? We can't move anywhere. I tell you guys, my mom told me one time, something told. Sometimes it's good to be stupid. Because if you're in a group, if everybody in our group thinks that they're sensible, they're best, their idea is who's going to take it? Who's going to move? Nobody. So, folks, this morning, these two gentlemen that I just showed you, the President of the Republic of Liberia and the CEO of Ibofaf, Ibofaf, whatever. But anyway, the thing I want to say on this here is that the loan has already been ratified. I mean, the paper President we are sent in, they ratified already. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Those of you that have been following Facebook, there were certain things that were stated by former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in Rwanda recently, where she said, those, and I'm paraphrasing them because I don't have the video right now. She said, those of us that are in a leadership have to recognize that if we want something be done in our country, first of all, we have to give enough explanation to our people to accept, to sell it to them, and let them accept our ideas of what we're selling. If we don't do that because we think we're in leadership and we force it on them, they will reject it. And even if you force it because you have the power, it might not go down well. Like I said, I'm paraphrasing. But those are the kinds of things she was saying. Now let's go back to this thing here. I hope CDC, not CDC, but I hope the president, we are led government, and its ministers of information, and everybody else, will feel and have sympathies of those brothers and sisters that are questioning the process. Let's look at this from a practical standpoint. Let's look at it this way. The first thing, the first incident was a plane. Oh, President, we have bought plane. He bought the plane for $30 million. Where he get that kind of money from? He got plane parked at Flower Field. Where he get that kind of money from? So President we came up and said, look, we don't even have money to buy buses, let alone buy a plane. A friend of mine who has a company in Burkina Faso loaned me his plane, borrowed me his plane. Let me use the Liberian term. Borrow me his plane. He said, President you have prestige. Why go with other country plane? I will let you use mine free. And so I use it. But when it comes and I'm not using it that day, it packed. That's what the people have. I'm paraphrasing as well. I'm not quoting him. Paraphrasing as well. Okay. Now, after that, I truly believe when President Weah made that explanation that day, the information about the loan, the process about the loan has already started. And I think President Weah was quite aware of that. So what I thought would have happened, oh, by the way, the same guy you're talking that I'm telling you now were also in negotiation with him to do a loan. Because the whole process doesn't pass a smell test. Samson told smell test, that is. Because the man gave you plane, borrow you plane. The same man now turn out to be the man that's going to get loan. Not only is he going to help you to get a loan for the country, but he's also going to be the contractor to build the road. This thing doesn't pass smell test. None whatsoever. So we should have sympathies for those brothers and sisters that are questioning the process. In fact, some will go ahead to say this is something that violating the code of conduct, which I say, please sit down one place. Code of conduct, the code of conduct that been violated for the last 12 years, is that now we want to apply it? That's my reply to that. But then again, that's not a good reply either. Because if I take that position, I've already divided the line. I should be able to have the empathy of these brothers and sisters who are questioning and bringing in a code of conduct which I don't believe should be brought into this conversation. But the way the process happened, the way things went on, caused the brothers and sisters to question. So I think the government should come out and explain to the people. Even if the process is over, even if you don't explain now, that's okay. Excuse me, folks. You know what? Just give me 1 second here. Let me see. Samson, I'll be right back. It's something. It's not like. Anyway, I don't need to explain. Samson, LIBERIA Public. Give me a moment here. Oh, in fact, why? Oh, you know what? Okay, all right. As I was saying, and so if you don't even explain to the people what is happening, okay, the process is done. But is that how we're going to be leading? Is that how we're going to lead our brothers and sisters? Explaining with information, anger, and what have you. It's not going to help us. Seriously, it's not going to help us. Because those that you're going to be giving an explanation to, they're going to be upset. They won't listen to you. So what is the point? Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, let me take 1 or 2 minutes of commercial and I will be right back.
Welcome to Uncle Musa Grocery, 6523 Woodland Avenue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I'm a customer of Uncle Musa. I came here to get some things from grocery. Their things are so nice. They never get expired. They are the best quality. They have the best price ever anyone can get. They have so many things like cream, like meat, a lot of kind of meat. We have so many kind, and it's the best grocery store I've ever seen here in Woodland. We are located at the 65th and Woodland. If you want, I really appreciate you guys to come over to come and patronize with us because they sell the best quality.
Uncle Musa's Groceries on Woodland Avenue, 6523 Woodland Avenue, Philadelphia, PA. Musa's store is composed of varieties of African food as well as Americans, but predominantly African food. You have dry fish, you have cassava, you have yams, you have plantains, bananas, and Musa even goes out of his way to pay people extra to cut the potato grains for customers to save them extra time.
Welcome back, Samson. I love to live in Philadelphia where I will have somebody to pay somebody to cut my potato. But that's Musa's store, folks. Those of you that are in the Philadelphia area, we encourage you to visit them. Let's go back to the conversation. Okay, so my point is this. The government of the Republic of Liberia, first of all, I've stated it before and I will continue to say it. Look at Liberia. Look at the age group in Liberia. The people who are in majority are from 35 down. And you tell me, when you were that age, when was the last time you sit still for somebody to tell you something, for you to accept it or say yes, and you sit down and put your head while the person talking? You're young. You're wasting my time, man. Hurry up. I got to go. You always, at that age, you always have to go. So I think, and then also, this is the situation Liberia is in right now is very, very serious business. The leadership themselves, they're young. They don't have patience for foolishness from people like Samson too. Folks, I'm laughing, but it's a very serious business. And those that they are giving the information to, they don't have time for foolishness from anybody either. So you guys, this clash that is coming. It's coming. We have to be very careful. But I think the government Republic of Liberia should take the higher ground. Be patient with us. Even if we don't understand what you're saying, be patient. Be patient. Tell us what you're doing. You already have supporters. Tell us what you're doing. Because if you don't, if you just come out and do like what your minister of information would do, deputy minister of information, he comes out and explain. But in his explanation, there are other brothers and sisters that do not have the ability to understand clearly. So then they take words out of the neat information that he's giving, take some words out and say, oh, the man said they mean that, or man said they mean that. So if we start selecting, listening to people, and we feel he's angry, it's not going to go anywhere. The press secretary to the president wrote a neat piece the other day where he enumerated some of the activities of this government. Nice, but those are things that perhaps you have press conference. The president sit there quietly, nicely, and let people asking questions. For example, when he had that information, I'm not too sure whether it was press conference when he explained to her about the plane. There was no question. Well, maybe there was a question. Maybe I didn't see that. But put people together. If you're going to do the Facebook press conference, that's fine. If you're going to go on Facebook and say, I'm going to explain to the Liberian people, because when you're on Facebook, you're not explaining to the whole world. You're explaining to, you have a specific audience in mind. So give the audience the opportunity to interact with you. Let them ask their question. Even if the question is so stupid coming from Samson Tor. Take it. Oh, Mr. Tor, that kind of question, Mr. Tor, come on now. I mean, why will you ask that kind of? By the way, it's a nice question, Mr. Tor, but right now I don't have the kind of answer perhaps that you're looking for. But guess what, Mr. Tor? We'll get back with you. You move on. If we don't do that, we're gonna have an issues. Let's go back to this Burkina. Here's the other thing the government of the Republic of Liberia are not sensitive to, my opinion. The government of Liberia by this time should know we're talking about Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso in our destruction. The destruction that we brought upon ourselves. But Burkina Faso is not neutral in this. We know who they are. In fact, Burkina Faso right now, they're still having issue in Grand Yida County. That land issue is not done yet. But that's besides the point. The Republic of Liberia and its leadership should be sensitive to Liberians when it comes to Burkina Faso. Okay, this man is from Burkina Faso. He's agreed to help with the developmental agenda of Liberia or pro government of the Republic of Liberia, which we all have accepted. However, if this man is coming in, because here's what I keep saying to you, not every Liberian will be on the same page with you. And that's one of the things that when it says somebody is educated, you must have the ability to recognize your audience when you're speaking. You must have the ability to know who is the recipient of your speech or whatever idea that you're putting out. Then you say, Mr. Todd, but then if that's the case, then you're cheating because you're skewing your idea to the audience of, yeah. You think I'm going to be talking to you right now as I'm talking. Then I start talking about different Q, differential equation, calculus. Only a few of you, those of you that are in the field, will understand that. But what will be my purpose now? If I'm talking to you and giving you those kinds of stuff, first of all, I start with you. I start from a moment distribution. Then I say, okay, that's not enough. I throw in the share moment diagram. Oh, that's not enough. Then I come here and start giving you all kinds of calculation, of being calculation, moment calculation, share all of those calculations in engineering. What is my point if I'm speaking to the general public? So I have to recognize who am I talking to and tailor my point, my view, whatever that I'm saying, tailor it to the audience. Because then the audience will understand what I'm saying, and perhaps, and I say perhaps, might gravitate towards my ideas. That's how you win people over. It's not for me to sit here and say, you listening to me and you're not accepting it, I will block you. Because the next time you put your question, oh yeah, I agree with it, I will block you. Where are we going? If I want to do that, then why even come on the public medium where I know very well that views out there is not one view. They're diverse because we're diverse people. Why can't we recognize that? And therefore, let me go back to this again. The Republic of Liberia leadership, I feel that they were not sensitive when it comes to Burkina Faso and the Republic of Liberia. So if I was involved, I know very well, and that's the preaching that I'm doing, that this project, and let me take a step back because I know Total name is involved into this project. I'm happy it's going to Total, and I will push it all along. Pray to God that it happens because Total going to be benefiting from it. So there's no question. However, Total is not Republic of Liberia. If Total is benefiting on the sweat of the rest of the Republic of Liberia, the people of Liberia, Total should be appreciated to the people of Liberia. So when my brothers and sisters from other places are questioning the process, I should be sensitive enough to understand their position. However, I, from Total, must be able to have the ability to try to convince them to see reason to support the process. That's how you deal with stuff. Even though I know it's going to be beneficial to Total, but I can't just stand on that and say, I don't care what you say, Total going to get in. Then what good is it? The money that's going to repay this money is not coming from Total alone. So you want to tell me the other brothers and sisters, okay, their view doesn't matter? Okay? No. We do that, we go nowhere. In fact, if I take that position, the other brothers and sisters will put their foot down and we're going nowhere. So again, the Republic of Liberia should bring this man to the public. Of course, it's a contract. He doesn't have to come to the public. He doesn't have to say anything. He can go on because the contract is done, it's sealed, and with the approve, he can start the project. That's fine. But guess what? He's going to be working in Liberia. And there will be Liberians in Liberia that are not happy with his position. If we're now all on board to fix things in our country, guess what? It's going to be considered, oh, the people think. Once they classify, oh, the people think, what do you think you're going to have? If there's no shared interest from all of us, we're divided on a developmental agenda that's supposed to bring development for all of us, and we're divided on that. How can we be successful in it? Yes, you say we got the power. We can force it. That's good. You can do that. But what is the support going to be coming from? People are going to be talking about this over and over, and they're not gonna get over it. And there will be, so I bet you go on my page, right? Let them talk. They will get tired. No, it doesn't happen like that. So you say let them talk, they will get tired. This one finished. You got 6 years to go. Every time you bring something, people talk about it. You're a human being like any other person. Sooner or later, you'll get tired. Oh, would you play the deaf ear? That's okay. Okay? And here's the other thing that we ourselves should also be able to have a good sense of. When the former government was in power, the critics, most of them sedition, were criticizing. Oh, this is not the way the government's supposed to do things. Of course, you're opposition. It's your job to criticize. Now you start now, people are criticizing. And we're complaining. Why are you saying it? Why are you in it? Samson told, telling you, why are you in the street dancing? We're bringing the people bringing development in. Did I say we? No matter what they're accusing me of. I love it when I do that. By the way, that's okay. But anyway, so I said, well, you're supposed to be dancing. The people bringing development in total. Then you want to say, no, it's not the way to go. I'm not also asking the Republic of Liberia leadership to please everybody. That's not the point. But we have to be honest. Because we came in, the government of Republic of Liberia came in during the campaign. We will do things differently. We will do things differently. The way this past government is behaving will never behave like that. Our position will be different. Things we're going to do in this country for you, you will find that it's going to be different. Here we are. The code of conduct that we all used to complain about is also being affected. According to other people, it's also being violated. Here in this government that was saying they're going to do things differently. So those are explanations. If you can explain to people without insulting them or without them feel being insulted, then you're doing good. So I'm going to do my best to sell this because I know it's already ratified. Whether they're selling it or not, they're going to carry on the process. Okay? But your brothers and sisters that are in the diaspora, even people back home, are crying about the process. They will continue to talk about it. In fact, this is so bad that those brothers and sisters that are supposed to be representing us in the House of Representatives and Senate, most Liberians don't even trust them now. Look how long it took these people to pass this thing here. Was there serious debate? Can they show us records that there was people who objected to these things based on certain reasoning? Was there any serious debate in the representatives? Or so say one, so say all? So if we behave like that, people are going to continue to question our ability to lead. There used to be a rumor, say the former president, whenever she sends something to the house and just put $5, I'm just being ridiculous. Put money here and there, the people just pass the bill. And these people, most of the people in the house, I know some of them, highly educated, respect themselves. But look at the kind of stigma that is being put on them. How do you get rid of that? And so these are the kinds of stuff our brothers and sisters need to understand. That when they're being criticized, it's not just what's happening now, it's what's been happening in the past. Our brothers and sisters are looking at the past history and say, these are the same people that continue to do these things. And how do we get into this thing? Here's the thing Liberian people are not quite getting yet. The judicial branch of the Republic of Liberia has not even been involved. Why if somebody, God forbid, God forbid. Why is somebody, a Liberian, a lawyer, or somebody, take this whole concession business, take it to court, and Supreme Court say you got standing? They put a hold on that. What do we do? Because for me, it seemed to me that we're failing to explain to our brothers and sisters what this process is all about and what it's supposed to do for us. Okay? The whole thing about this $420 million, first thing, the $536 million, the process itself, most Liberians continue to question it. Then comes the $420 million with the connection of the plane. People are now feeling, and why will you blame them? Somebody gave you plane, borrow you plane. 2 weeks later, that person gonna get loan, and that same person that gonna get loan going to do the work. Why would you not sympathize with the view that said this is something fishy? Which I don't believe it is. But I think the people that are involved need to go and do some serious explanation, give explanation to the Liberian people. And since you guys are so good with Facebook, when you get on Facebook, specifically the professor I call him, I used to call him professor before he took the job in Liberia. He's still a professor. Eugene Fakan, because he was on my show here one time. He's still a professor as far as I'm concerned. And he's very good at explaining as far as I'm concerned. Since you're very good at that, continue to explain. Don't get tired. Because the more explanation you give to our brothers and sisters, you try to, what is the definition of explanation? Let's put it out. Explaining something that you want to convey to the people, saying something that you think your people need to understand. You're giving a process. Okay? Putting a process in word. You're explaining. Okay? So most of you, highly educated, that are helping the president to lead the country, highly educated, you have the ability to explain. So continue to do that, because your brothers and sisters out here are all going heck stacked. I mean, they are not certified. And you say, who cares? What do you mean, who cares? That they are contrary to? Okay? So this man that going to be doing the job, let the man be put to the Liberian people, even though he doesn't speak English, but I think he can get what my mom used to call tapita. I think he can get tapita. The tapita can explain to her. That's interpreter. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. Folks, serious. If we do these things, we will be able to move the country forward. I'm sure President George will, and I will show you a picture here. And so I too, if I was in this position, I probably would have been, feeling the same thing. Okay, let me just show you a picture here quickly. And this one I will remove myself, so you won't be able to see me. You will only see the president. Okay, during the campaign. And this is not the only. I have another one that is a video. President George, we are doing the campaign, travel all over the country. Places the car will not move, he will walk. So the road business, when Liberia men say they want really catch a heart, the road business, it really catch our president heart. And as a result, it seemed to me that no matter what, roads must be in Liberia under his watch. He must bring in road no matter what under his watch. Okay? It catch a heart. It catch the president heart. He's very serious about it. But what do I say to that? It's good to be passionate about something, which the president is, about the road business. However, Liberia is not a banana republic. We have laws. And I think the president himself, being a former senator, is quite aware of these laws. Okay, whether they were applied yesterday or violated yesterday, these things must be taken into account. I know you have 6 years, and for me, Samson too, I don't think you get 6 years. I think you get 12 years. I made that, folks. I'm not just making a statement today. I was in Monrovia during the inaugural speech when I heard him talking. That hot sun at the stadium. I was only about maybe 25, 30 feet away from him when he was speaking because I was in the press pool, so I was closer. And I was saying, as a pressman, I violated my rule, but that's okay. I said, 12 years, 12 more years. And he was just giving his first inaugural speech, and I was yelling. And people started looking at me, what kind of man is that? The man, even one day, yeah, he said 12 years. But that's how I felt at that time. Because I think this man, if we give him the opportunity, he will move forward. Once again, I'm not a seditious. I'm a card-carrying member of Liberty Party. My name is Samson Toe. Go on Liberty Party US's book. You'll find Samson Toe near on there. So let me just tell you right now. But when the truth are there, let's express it. Okay? Most of my video that I'm going to be showing, I will continue to beat the drum for this man because the ratification process is over. What are we debating now? I'm doing my best now for my brothers and sisters to see reason to ease out on this and let these people do this work. And I will criticize because I'm an engineer. If I see something that is not engineering correctly or that is not being constructed correctly, I will point it out. I have the ability. That I do have the ability. I'm not a politician, but I do have the ability to see something that is not being constructed correctly, specifically roads, because that's what I design, I construct as well. So I have the ability to say something on it. But let's give these people the chance. First thing our brothers and sisters are saying, the man come in, the money. No, that's his job. His business is to make money. I don't know exactly what the situation in Ghana was. And I've been researching that. I still have not come across it. So anybody, if you have that, my email address is stoentoe@yahoo.com. Just send it to me. stoentoe@yahoo.com. Send me that, and I will. If that's to counteract my argument, I will agree. And I'm not some kind of big person to say I can't be wrong. Show me, I will pull it up. Okay. But let's give these people the opportunity for them to do the work for us. Another thing that I'm going to add on there, and this is where you're supposed to know that I'm truly a liberal progressive. I should say fine, because they're going from Tabata to Zadru. Oh, I'm dancing. They're going from Town to the border. Oh, I'm dancing. However, look at it from this point. I drove from Monrovia all the way to Zwedru. The road from Ganta to the border between Grand Jide and Nima, Sesto River, is bad. Bad. If I have my choice, I would say put aside the Grand Jide business. Let's do Ganta to Tapeta. Okay? When you're driving the road, dry season, you got ditch in the middle of the road. And I showed you guys that before. One of the bridges on the highway doesn't even exist. When you get there, you got to get out of your car and hope your driver don't make any mistake and you find him swimming. That's a bridge on a major highway. If I have my choice, I would say to the president, you do Ganta Tapeta Highway. Because the road from Sesto River to Zwedru, I didn't go past Zwedru, of course, but the road from Sesto River to Zwedru, I think about 4 or 5 places that is bad. But from Ganta to Tapeta, 50, 60, almost 100 situations where you will find that the road, when it's raining, they are impossible. Okay? But I'm not. So they say that's what they want to do. That's fine. What I'm going to be doing now is to show you, please understand, I'm going to be speaking now from an engineering perspective. So it's not to say that these people don't have the right to question. I'm not concerned about they don't have the right. They have the right. They are Liberians. They have the right to disagree. And we, those of us that are supporting this roadway initiative, must also be sympathetic to their view. When I mean sympathetic, I'm not saying that they're sorrowful and something. No, but we should accept their view. They have the right to question. It left with us because we're in support. This is what I want people to understand. If you're supporting something and somebody else is against it, don't say I'm supporting it, you're against it, therefore you're against progress. Then you're wrong. Then you against progress. Because we're all in the same house. But I should have the ability. First of all, I should sympathize with them, sympathize with their position, say, okay, they have a right. Then it is my job, since I'm supporting it. I know my idea is right already because that's what I'm supporting. But then I have to turn to them to explain to them why I said this idea is right and see if they can come my way. I also want them to be responsible. They should have the ability to listen to me. I'm not saying they should agree with me. I will do my best to convince them. But they must have the ability to welcome my idea, even if they disagree with it. But because you don't agree with Samson Toe, and so if he's trying to convince you right now, I don't want to listen to you. Because everything you're saying is nonsense. Okay? So if you put a blind before your eyes because you don't agree with anything, we're not going to go anywhere. So my position this afternoon or this morning is to do this. Well, boom, in the middle. And let's move forward. I want every one of us to have interest. Because once we develop interest, it is easy for our government to be supported. It is easy for our government to move forward. The government, most of the people that are working in the government, they're family members of ours as well. Not to say they have their ears closed. They're hearing it. You heard the president the last time when he did mention Prophet Key. So the people are hearing these things. They are not isolated. At least not yet. Okay? So my reason this morning, what I'm going to be doing is this. I'm going to be showing you some video of this man's ability to do work. And people will say, but Mr. Toad, that's not what we're talking about. We know the man have the ability to do the work. We're not concerned with that. We know once he's doing it, he will do it well. We're not concerned with that. And I understand that. However, I'm also want to show you what he can do. And perhaps once you see these kinds of stuff from me, my own explanation, perhaps that will ease out some of your concern. And I'm not asking you this morning to totally agree with me. No. If I do that, I'll be a fool to expect for you to accept my explanation right now and say, yes, that's it, let's move on. Then I will be a fool. But I will gradually win you over to see reason why this particular issue must be accepted by all of us. And you say, but Mr. Todd, they already passed the law. Who cares? No. Because I want you to be happy. I want you, when you get on the Facebook page, when you guys are having a discussion, even though you're not going to agree with it, but at least the tone of engaging each other, the negative tone of engaging each other will go down a little bit. Okay? The volume is too high on this one thing here. And we're not the only person that read Facebook or look at Facebook. There are other people, international companies that want to go and do investment in Liberia. They're looking at this as well. If we can do something like this and say, yes, this is in our interest. I don't agree with it, but let's see how far we're going to. If we can't do that, do you expect the other people, other country that want to do development in Liberia, want to go over there? They say, oh, I want my money. Everybody, all of the rich people, they want to put somewhere, want to go somewhere to develop, to put their money somewhere where they will be able to make money by. But who will want to take their money somewhere where there is conflict, where there is a possibility that they might have a conflict? You don't know what these people think. And this is why I'm saying that the government, the onus is on the government. The government must always take the podium and explain why they're doing certain things. You know, the explanation that you're going to be giving, not necessarily just for Liberians, but for future investors. Because as you go on to carry on the development for the country, how you borrow the money and things like that, they're looking at it. Everybody's looking at it. They say, oh, people said there was no debate in the House of Representatives about the issue, why other people are crying. So people look at these kinds of stuff. So I think the Republic of Liberia must do, the people that are leading us have to do better, must do better to explain. You can't explain to people with anger. And here's what I'm going to say. There are certain personality on Facebook. They're not doing the coalition, George, we are led government. They're not doing them favor either. Because if you're going to use this medium to castigate your people who are against your government, then you're not doing good. Your job is to, because no matter what, there will be people who will always be against the government, not necessarily want to see harm, but they also believe. Remember that there was an election, and some people are stuck into that. Okay? And the government has opposition. They were opposed to everything because they believe that they're better than the government. And so they want to establish now to the Liberian people that next time, get us. These people can't do you good. Look at the kind of thing they're doing to you. So they will continue to put the government in a bad light. It is your job to fight, even though you won the election. It is your job to explain to the people that, look, the opposition is saying this, but this is what we are. This is what we're doing. But when you do these kinds of stuff, you give opposition more room to disqualify you as a leader. Samson to Liberian Public Radio, folks. Let me now go and show you some of the construction process from Imofa. Okay, let's see. The first one, just briefly introducing you, and again, please, I'm not here to publicize this company. I'm showing you these just so that perhaps you will see. I don't speak French, you know that, and I don't even know that man. But the first thing, I'm doing this for you to see why I think this guy would do something good for us. Let's look at his introduction, his introduction, his company introduction. Okay, let's start from there, and hopefully we'll be able to move somewhere. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. Let's see here. This is.
Créé en 1989, Ebomaf, au cours de sa première décennie d'existence, a fini par faire l'unanimité autour d'elle en matière de bâtiments et de travaux publics. À ce titre, le Burkina lui doit l'entretien courant de ses routes, ainsi que la construction de services sociaux de base, à savoir les écoles primaires, les lycées et collèges, les centres de santé, et ce, sur l'ensemble du territoire national burkinabé. Ainsi, en un temps record, Ebomaf a largement contribué au rapprochement des populations par une meilleure circulation des personnes et des biens sur des routes performantes. Car c'est dans le domaine du génie civil qu'Ebomaf excelle le plus. En atteste le bitumage de nombreuses artères de la ville de Ouagadougou, dont l'enceinte du palais de Kossiam et la jonction avec la résidence de la rue Bagem Nini, le prolongement du boulevard des Tensoba. Son empreinte la plus visible demeure l'aménagement de la zone d'activité commerciale et administrative, la ZACA, et la construction de la route Koudougou-Dédougou.
En matière d'expertise, nous avons depuis une dizaine d'années commencé à mettre l'accent plus sur l'expertise importée pour la formation du personnel. À la date de ce jour, je peux vous dire que nous avons une expertise certaine qui répond aux normes internationales.
Avec son capital expérience, assise sur une solide expertise de son personnel cosmopolite, où des nationaux hautement qualifiés côtoient des ingénieurs les plus convoités au monde, venus des pays les plus développés, qu'il s'agisse de français, d'anglais ou d'espagnol, Ebomaf dispose d'un savoir-faire pointu très apprécié dans la sous-région ouest-africaine, où il n'a de cesse de donner satisfaction aux décideurs grâce à ses aptitudes matérielles et techniques conséquentes.
Le métier d'entrepreneur est un métier très difficile, avec beaucoup d'exigences. Des exigences pour le planning, des exigences pour la qualité, ce qui nous amène à nous doter de matériel performant. Un, pour la qualité, deux, pour pouvoir respecter les plannings souhaités par les différents gouvernements.
Le Togo abrite aujourd'hui de grands projets routiers exécutés ou en cours d'exécution par Ebomaf. Le Bénin lui confia en 2012 le marché d'aménagement et de bitumage du tronçon Bodjekali-Madekali-Iloua, frontière du Nigeria. Et Ebomaf conduit actuellement 3 projets routiers d'envergure au Bénin. En 2014, le projet d'aménagement et de bitumage de l'axe Cancan-Kissidougou, long de 194 km pour un montant de 305 millions d'euros, soit plus de 200 milliards de francs CFA, fut son plus gros marché en Guinée-Conakry, où Ebomaf exécute déjà les travaux de réhabilitation et de renforcement de l'aéroport de Conakry.
Dans la sous-région, nous sommes très présents avec des résultats très probants. À ce titre, je peux vous dire qu'en tant que PDG du groupe, je suis un homme satisfait des résultats et de notre possibilité d'apporter un plus à notre sous-région qui est l'Afrique de l'Ouest.
Du Niger au Mali, en passant par la Côte d'Ivoire, Ebomaf s'illustre à travers une adéquation qualité.
Again, folks, Sam Stinto, LIBERIA Pub Radio. Again, you just saw what I wanted people to look at is the equipment this man had. Okay, first of all, to come up with these kinds of equipment, you have to have a good standing with a bank for the bank to give you a loan to be able to buy these type of equipment, the trucks and everything else. Okay, so I'm just showing you all of these things for you to think ahead of this thing. Look at the equipment this man. Do you seriously believe that these equipment they cost what $420 million? I don't think so. I think including the plane and thing this man had, I think they're in billions. So if he's coming in to do this road network for us, I think we ourselves should also do our own homework. Okay? Do some research more and see what this man is capable of doing. Now, I'm going back again to the process. To the process. The process that brought us to the point, for me, doesn't pass a smell test. I understand that. But I think the government of the George Weah led leadership should come out to the brothers and sisters, okay, to say this is what we're doing. Yeah, the lawmakers have already passed it. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. But guess what? This is not going to be, you're going to be there for 12 years, as far as I'm concerned. So this is not going to be your first time coming up with these kinds of loan. But if your brothers and sisters have the ability to trust that, yes, you will do this and do it fairly, it will be helpful. It will be helpful. Let me play one more video, and then I will go on to the idea of why. I got two more videos for you, but they're all short. They're not gonna be long, as long as the other ones. So let me get out here, folks. The reason I'm doing this, I want you to look when you're looking at the video. Pay attention to, because I don't speak French. So those of you that can understand French, you're in for a treat. I don't know what he's saying, but I'm paying attention to the equipment, and I'm paying attention to the process of the road building process itself. And what am I looking at? Does he put in things that I want to see? And up to this point, I say yes. And I will explain that later. But let's look at this other video.
Elle a mis du temps à venir, mais la route Koudougou-Dédougou est enfin en train de sortir du tunnel. L'entreprise chargée des travaux fait tourner ses gros engins à longueur de journée. Les ouvriers sont aussi à la tâche. Fini donc le scepticisme des populations. Plus de 10 km ont été dégagés, un rythme d'avancement satisfaisant, et le député Korotim Côté de se réjouir aussi du fait que ce projet crée pour le revêtement de cette route longue d'environ 130 km. Il ne faut pas s'attendre, dira l'entrepreneur. C'est une question de choix et de finances.
Un enrobé vit au moins 20 ans. Le tricouche est encore mieux qu'un bicouche. Parce que tout ça...
La durée de vie d'un ouvrage dépend donc de la qualité du bitumage. Les populations de la boucle du monde ont mis du temps à venir. Mais la route Koudougou-Dédougou est enfin en train de sortir du tunnel. L'entreprise chargée des travaux fait tourner ses gros engins à longueur de journée. Les ouvriers sont aussi à la tâche. Fini donc le scepticisme des populations. Plus de 10 km.
Again, you saw the process, the road building process. You have the graders, but look at your trucks. Now, the reason I'm pushing this thing here is this. The reason I'm saying this thing about this man is this. In construction, if you have the equipment to do the work, you take less time to finish. And the equipment that will do the work, because you have good equipment, the workmanship is going to be turning out to be good as well. We're hoping. Okay. The man, he's been in all of the West African French-speaking country. He's coming to Liberia now. Folks, we have to open our minds. And let's see how far they're going to go with this thing here. We open our mind to the alien-led government with the Chinese coming in. Of course, I'm not happy with most of the projects the Chinese have given us, because they don't last. So why can't we try something else? Why would we stop all of the process that's supposed to be happening to us because certain things were not done right according to us? Okay. This thing here, this particular, if the government of the Republic of Liberia are serious to help Liberia move forward, then these two loan situation will be a teachable moment for them. Because they will look at it and say, okay, what did we do wrong? Why is it that our brothers and sisters, now don't get me wrong, I don't care what George Weah does. People will always say he ain't doing good, because that's politics. I understand that. But they should look, the government of Republic of Liberia should open the file. Say, what did we do wrong? Why is it that people, credible people, intelligent, educated people were crying? What did we do wrong? And learn from it. The next time they come out, they do a little bit mistake. Less mistake than what is happening here. I consider a mistake. The next time, before you know, within 3 years' time, things are on the right path. And as long Liberians feel that they have an invested interest in their country, you will not suffer with the developmental agenda that you have. You're not going to get 100% support. There's no way. You only got 60 some odd percent vote anyway, which is understandable. But the fact that you have that much vote, you should now come in to say we're going to move forward with all of us. It's not this our time. There's no hour in the government of the Republic of Liberia. It's we, our time now too. Why are we doing that? Why are we going that route? For what reason? Yeah, you can say all of that. You're in power. That's okay. But as long as you continue to do that, yes, what's going to be hurting you? The well-meaning Liberian, highly educated, highly skilled, will stay away from you. And people who are going to be gravitating towards you, people who cannot contribute, people who cannot seriously contribute to your development agenda. Because they're coming, they are not skilled, they are not qualified, but they're coming with big mouth to make you feel that they're coming for you to help you. And they will put themselves with you and go after the interest that they have for themselves, not the interest that you have for the Republic of Liberia. That's going to be my argument as I support this process. So I think we all need to sit down and say what went wrong, because obviously something went wrong. If nothing, why would you have this many people crying from here and there? Why would other people be defending something? If everybody agree on it, why do you need to defend if somebody agree on everything else? So we need to sit down and say what went wrong? What did we go wrong? All we're trying to do is to lead. And even if you have the ability, go to the opposition and ask them a question. What do you think we did here that is not right? Have a symposium, have a meeting. Go to LU campus and have a round table. Collect some. Now all opposition members, because there are some that I don't even agree with them, because some of them they don't even make sense. But find the intelligent, those who have the ability to disagree with you, but at the same time have the ability to listen to you. You put those people together and you have a forum where the discussion will be about Liberia. And this is one of the reasons why Liberia always have issues, because we tend to celebrate individual instead of an institution. And so the President Weah and his people were saying that when we come in, we're going to take individual out and put institution in place. We will let you worship, if you want to worship anything, the institution. Where's that idea now? Are we going back to the process of worshiping individual? I thought this is what we said we want to get out of. So those are the kinds of things that we need to gravitate towards. We cannot have an individual as our be all, because if the individual fail, we were not prepared to have some sort of a process. And since we don't have a process, we're only depending on individual fail, the whole thing collapse. But if you have a process, if the individual at the apex of that process fail, the process continue, because the process is built to be able to withstand any kinds of catastrophe that might happen. That's what we call process. Let me go back to another video. And those of you that might be writing, saying I'm lying and all that kind of stuff, it's up to you. Okay. I'm not going to argue what I do, what I don't do. This is Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I'm just showing you these here. Again, once again, try my best to convince you. And you don't have to agree with my ideas, but I want you to give me the opportunity. I want you to give me the opportunity. Let me do my best to explain. I'm not saying you should accept it, but let me have the opportunity. That's all that I say. That's all is required in life. Give me the opportunity and let me make good use of it. If I don't, it's on me. Samson Toll, LIBERIA Public Radio. So, like I said, it's a very short video. And come Monday, I will explain all of the process, engineering processes involved in this, the construction process. But what I want you to look at, and I want you, don't just take my word for it. Okay, I can sit down here and BS all morning. Don't take my word for it. Go and you know the name. Imufa, whatever. EBOMAF group, and do your research. If you know how to move around in computers, you can. Most of them are written in French, but you can have a translation. If you know how to move around in computer, you'll be able to, and you will read it. Okay. So basically, I'm just asking that we give these people the opportunity. Let's see what they can do. What I don't want us to do is to put our hands and say, "Oh, any man say you want to be president? He president now. Let's see. I know he can make it. He's gonna fail because we know he ain't able." If you do that, you're defeating all of us. This man must not fail. If he's gonna fail, let it be on them, not us. Predicting, not us. Projecting, not us. Enabling the failure. We, the Liberian people, must do all we can that these people are successful. Okay, let's look at it this way. I'm almost done. I'm going to be out of here very shortly. Let's look at it this way. So say they're successful. For me, I want a road. I don't want a road from Tapeta to Zvedru here. I don't want a road from Town to the river here. I don't want that one here. I want Ganta to Tapeta or to Zvedru, that kinds of stuff. But let's just give what they say they're gonna do. That's fine. But let's look at it from a perspective of social benefit. I told you the last time. I'm gonna say it again. You saw the equipment to build a road. You're not just going to use one excavator. And I'm sorry that I have not been able to prepare you with respect to the equipments and type of equipments that are needed for road. And so when I start calling these names right now, some of you might be able to understand, some will not. And so this is the area of who do I intend to have this conversation with. Because if I start calling excavator, front end loader, dozer and start putting D30, D44, and all kinds of numbers on there, you most people will not understand it. So I'm not going to do that. Okay. But what I'm saying is, let's look at, you saw the background, you saw the kind of equipment the man was using, and that's just one or two machine he was using. Back home, our people call it yellow machine. He has lots of yellow machine. Those yellow machine gonna come to Liberia. First of all, logistic. He's gonna transport them from whatever site they're in now. Mobilization. He's gonna transport them to Liberia. And in Liberia, he's gonna have a staging where he's going to put all his equipment. The people that are there, wherever he's going to go, he's going to want a piece of land. Not only he will rent a land to put his equipment on. He's going to rent it from Liberia. He's not bringing land from Burkina Faso. So he bring the equipment to Liberia, and he successfully start operating. He's going to want to buy fuel for the equipment. You're not going to transport fuel from Burkina Faso all the way to the Republic of Liberia. In fact, the Liberian government will not even do it. And furthermore, it's going to be much more expensive for him because every time he crosses the border, he got to pay due to Ivory Coast and all of. I think from Burkina Faso, he's most likely going to go through Togo. Well, whatever. My map is not quite up to date right now. Okay. So just think about it. What would be the easier thing for him to do? Bring the equipment, buy the fuel in Liberia. The people that he's going to be employing, most of the people that are going to be doing the job, except for the specialized area, he's going to bring his own crew. But the labor job, he's going to want to hire Liberians. He's not obligated for that unless it's stated that in the contract. Here in the United States, if they put contract out, they specify all of those things in the specification. Okay? You need to employ this amount of people from the minority side, those kinds of stuff. Except those kinds of things are happening. But knowing who he is, I think he will want to employ people in Liberia because they have done it in other countries. So those that he's going to employ in Liberia, they're going to spend the money, some of that money that they $420 million, some of them going to pay the people that he employed from Liberia, and those people are going to spend the money in Liberia. Now, after that, whether they buy Lebanese people take it to Beirut, that's not my problem. You deal with that. But that will revitalize the economy of that area. So he's successful building the road. Now, Tabata to Zvedru. Tabata has one of the best hospitals in the country as far as I'm concerned. So now, recently, there was an incident about Tabata Hospital where the ambulance went to pick up somebody in the village, in Nima County, closer to Tabata. But by the time the ambulance got there, because of the bad roads, and brought the person by, the person was already dead. Because of bad road, the ambulance couldn't pass the people that got stuck on the road. Folks, there's much more involved than just us going through the process of saying this thing is not done correctly. There's much more involved. There are times in life you look ahead and forget about what else is in the process of looking ahead. What is your end goal? What are you trying to achieve? We should argue about the code of conduct when our brothers and sisters are dying from a curable disease. We should argue the process because this thing doesn't pass a smell test. This is not good. Why our brothers and sisters can't bring food to market because we don't have roads? Which one do you even want? The Constitution is being violated. Let's go to court. If the Constitution, if the law, code of conduct is being violated, let us not try to degrade these people that are trying to do. Let's go to court. We got Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. They will hear our case. And if we have standing, they will hear us. And if we win, they will come and find remedy. But we out here arguing about code of conduct, cussing people without respecting the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. What is that? Selective application of the rule and regulation of the Republic of Liberia. Selective application. And then you want me to say, yes, let's go ahead? I will listen to you. But if we're going to want this rule, this code of conduct to be applied, it should be applied across the board. That's always been my argument. I'm showing you these things this man is capable of doing so that your mind will be eased out as he goes from village to places to do this work. There's much more involved. Those of us that are going to be affected by this construction area, you're talking about right away. We haven't even approached that yet. They're going to start from Tapatown to go to Zvedru. They got people in town that I know have built their houses in the right of way of the Republic of Liberia. They're going to start breaking it down. What do I say? I'm from Town. You're bringing my house down. I'm going to be happy because it's not a right of way. These are things that we have to prepare ourselves for fruitful discussion with the government of the Republic of Liberia, even if they are right. Or sometimes they don't even need you out of the right of way. But guess what? The road, they don't want to put the road there because of some obstacle. They want to go somewhere else, about somebody else's land. The person want to pay more money. The government, so the government come out with eminent domain, taking your property because it's in the interest of the state. These things are possible. Why aren't we preparing ourselves for these things? For us to have a conversation when the time comes. Instead, we hear every day on Facebook castigating each other, telling people you're not educated. If the person is not educated, why even bother going to his show? If the person is not educated, I mean, to you, he's not making sense. Why even you going to his show to teach him? Man, give me a break. Folks, these are not conducive to us, considering the situation we're coming from. Then people say, but Mr. To, you're always saying where the money coming from, it doesn't matter. I'm not saying that. It does matter how the money comes into being. It does matter that this thing doesn't pass a smell test. But what do? We hold that hostage? No. We move on and make correction. But then there were people that were asking Mr. To, yes, that's fine. We can say, okay, let's move on. But the people are not listening to us because they're in power. That's okay. We'll continue to talk to them. Eventually, they will see reason to listen to us. Yes, what I keep telling you, my brothers, and I'll be getting off here to go. Anybody want to call, put phone number up here within the next 5 minutes or so. Yes, what I keep saying to you. You engage me with respect, I will listen to you. But you engage me with no respect, I won't even listen to you because then you're already blind. I'll be looking at people thinking there are few people here making comment here, insulting me. But I'm not going to listen to them. They're not going to stop me. I will say what I want to say. You can insult all you want. It doesn't matter to me. If what I'm saying, if it doesn't make sense to you, that's fine. First of all, why are you on my page insulting me? That means you like what I'm saying. Samson Toro, LPR, we're on it. We're on it, folks. We're on it. We're on it. So again, I just want to thank all of you again this evening. Let me go ahead and open a line. Anybody want to call me? Do one at a time. First of all, let me put my phone. What's my phone? Okay. First of all, you got to do one at a time, but if you call, don't take all of the time because other people, who knows, who other people might call. And if I don't hear from you in 5 minutes or so, I'll be shutting it down. Saturday morning, I need to. What? Oh, got my other stuff. Okay. All right. So I'm not one of those TV, Facebook where you can go and stand over somebody and call from there. You want to call, you call on the phone. We have a conversation, and we'll do what we can. But why? Okay, all right. Hold on. Something happening with my call here. Okay. All right, folks. Here's the number. Give me a call here, 916-533-2048, and then we'll be able to talk to you. But in the meantime, like I said, I'm not going to be here now for about 5 more minutes or so, and I'll be out of here. I've been out here for quite a while this morning. Uh, Once again, none that all that I've been saying here or showing are correct. You can disagree with me and even do like what the other people are doing, insulting and things like that. That's okay. That's you. That's not my spirit. You can't affect me. You can't. Your insult cannot move me. No way, because my spirit is strong. It is your spirit by you insulting. You know what? Look at it this way. Be honest with yourself. In order for you to insult somebody, you have to go deep somewhere to bring the insult up. First of all, you got to be angry to bring the insult up. You can't be laughing with me and insulting me. So if you disagree with me, do yourself a favor. Don't put yourself in that kind of position. Tomorrow gonna be Sunday. Get off the show. Get off the show. Don't. I'm pleading with you because these are not healthy. For you to disagree with me and insult and you and people making plans, they are not healthy. Get off the show. Okay. However, you don't have to agree with me. You can disagree with me and listen. And if you want to make a comment, Mr. To, I disagree with you. But you don't have to insult because you know how to write. You know the English language. Insulting, it doesn't take us anywhere. By the way, that's fine with me. You do whatever you want to do. It's in your right. It is your right to insult and everything else. It doesn't matter. But let's move on. Okay, somebody's calling. Okay, let's see. I hope okay. Hello, Samson to Labron Public Radio. Are you calling about Labron Public Radio or are you calling for something else?
No, I'm calling for Liberia Public Radio.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. What's your name and where you're calling from?
I'm George Gibson.
Oh.
I'm calling from Pennsylvania State College.
Mr. Gibson, good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm happy to have you on air for a short period of time so we can make our point and make public aware of what unfolding in our country.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Turu, let me just chip in just a short notice. You know, the issue about this loan that is unfolding in our country today in President Weah-led government. You know, it dichotomizing the country in the sense that there are two kind of group of people. Allegedly, there are two groups now raising the argument. One group is raising the argument on the basis of legality. One group is raising the argument on the basis of expediency. You know, during our crisis in Liberia, when we wanted peace, we didn't use legality. We used expediency. And in the process of expediencies, there are certain provisions of constitutions that will be ignored. And I wish we did to bring about peace in Liberia. There were portions of the constitution were in the 2005 election, and we didn't conduct census and went to election. There are many parts of the provisions that were ignored for peace sake. And they issued about this loan over the period of time. What I have contextualized to myself and realized is that these two groups of people that are existing now in Liberia, most of your quarter will call and think that George Weah is breaching the law. He's going against the public procurement policy, he's going against constitutional breach, and many other things. And now other people will call and tell you, say, no, there's no constitutional breach. And people will tell you, like as the Justice Minister Square put it, we don't care where we collect the money from, the highest thing we want development. That is the word we talk about experiences. Over the period of time in Liberia been going through the process of legality, and this country is 170 plus years and having been developed on the process of legality. Now, the others are saying, look, since we've been trying legality on the process on the rule of law, trying for development, and when the money found people, group of people eat the money, we went through the legal process, and the money cannot have the trickle down effect on the average Liberian people and the nation squarely in development. So therefore, third class, the experiencing process, which for you believe that there is a constitutional breach. But this experiencing process, we believe that it will bring in development. China have done that. When China was called the Republic of China, it followed a legal and democratic process. They were believing in the rule of laws that they were directly controlled by the United States of America. But over a period of time in 1978, when China started economic reform,
Mr. Gibson.
Yeah.
Mr. Gibson,
Yeah.
I know who you are, and I know you're very passionate about this thing because you have been involved. Just from knowing you, I recognize you have been involved in most of these conversations. But I will ask you to make it brief for us because there are other people that are calling, and
Yeah,
I think I will do all that I can for the Liberian people.
China, when the ROC left, they brought in the People Republic of China. Now the People Republic of China believe in expediency. Right now, if you go to China, there's no freedom of association. People don't free their speech, no election. The process is going on. But China today, China is the world, the biggest economics that is rising up. We call the dragon is rising up compared to other nations now because of the process of expediency. Thank you very much for following me.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gibson. I think Mr. Gibson, like I said, he's been around. He knows a lot. He's very young, but he's been involved in a lot of stuff. But please, guys, if you call, make it brief so that the other people that want to be part of the conversation will be able to have the opportunity to speak as well. I know we're not going to settle these things there overnight. This thing is not going to be settled right now. So let's just hope that again, but as long as we're willing to listen to each other, I think then we're going to be making progress. Give me a call, 916-533-2048. There was somebody that was calling earlier, but when somebody call and someone else is online, it's difficult for me to switch to that person and cut them off. I don't think that would be polite. I don't think you want me to do that to you as well. So, Mr. Gibson, your point is well taken. We have to be very careful, and I think the thing I want us to do is this. Again, I'm not here to say who's wrong or who's right. Mr. Gibson, you correctly stated there are two opposing sides in everything, of course, in any view. Other than that, we won't even have people to express anything. Anyway, but the idea, what I'm trying to promote, is that we must have the ability to listen to the other side. When the other side is talking, let us listen without interrupting or saying some words that perhaps might not be suitable for the conversation. And that way, I'm not asking you to agree with them, but give them the opportunity, because all they're trying to do is to convince you to see the way they're coming from and perhaps bring you on board. You're going to have to resist that. And I understand it. But we must respect each other. We must respect each other's view. There is no view that is not a view. You hear that? Thompson to tie himself into nothing. By the way, give me a call. Folks, 916-533-2048. If I don't hear from you, I'm going to be getting off here very shortly. But let me go through here. Let me go through while I'm waiting for the phone call. Okay, while I'm waiting for... okay. What is it? What is it? Okay. Let me take this. Hello, Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Are you calling for LIBERIA Public Radio or are you calling for something else?
I'm calling to speak on the issue. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but before you do that, could you please call your name? Could you please call your name and where you're calling from, please?
My name is Christopher Tobasi. I'm calling from. Actually, I am visiting the Ocean State. I came here to attend one or two business here. So, once again, my name is Christopher Tobasi, and I just want to speak on the issue.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Mr. To, like few days ago, Mr. Kevin Collins and other people we were on Mr. Sue's show, and the people tried to say that you and myself we were in support of this government. For me, I'm in support of this government. Because I want to see good in the country. This country is a very old, ugly country. This country is a very old, backward country. In this generation, President, we are saying that we are ready to move our country forward. We will do everything within the confines of the law to move our country forward. This president has not broken any law of our land. He has not violated any laws of the land. This country has been dealing and working, and he even promised to uphold the laws of the land. We have politicians from different political parties in Liberia. We have our House of Parliament. If the president violated any law, they will hold the president responsible. As long as we don't see political leaders from different parties coming up to speak against the president on anything regarding laws, it means the president is doing his job and he has not violated the law. This is why all the political parties and their leaders are supporting his project. We are saying that this generation wants to see good roads, modern roads being built in our country. And I like the way you have explained it to the Liberian people in clear and clean language. This morning again, you are continuing to make in fact, Mr. To, you have been making the case from time to time. That's why you are from different political institutions. You are a member of a Liberty Party. But you see that there's a need for us to come together as Liberians so that we can do certain things, so that we can develop. If the development makes sense, whether you are from a different party or I'm from a different party, we must come together to do it in the interest of our people. That's why we are open to different backgrounds. Mr. Paul, this project will bring what is economic? It's money. If you get good roads, you're going to get good businesses coming in. Things will be flowing back and forth. So this is money. This will bring revenue to Liberia. Our GDP is going to grow. In fact, I have been researching this in Igbo group. This group has a steady track record. Their record, in fact, it might not be clean, but they have been doing good job all over Africa. I'd rather us put money in an African pocket than for us to put our money in Chinese people and other people from Western Asia or Western country. No, if an African man can do the job, let's put the money in the African man pocket. Because he's our fellow brother. So we gotta be wise. The men have been working in Benin, in Togo, in Ivory Coast, in Ghana, in Burkina Faso. They got half of record. In fact, he did some job in Egypt. So Liberia should not be terrified of development. Let's open our arms to development. Look, this generation is saying that we're not going to do business as usual. We're going to follow this President Lee. This president is a young president. He got vision, just like us. This generation see things ahead. Look, this is our future we are talking about in our children's future. And if Liberian people are saying, Mr. Toda, we will be hit with loans and interest and all of that. America owes China trillions of dollars, billions of dollars. America is still paying China debt. So Liberia, we will be prepared to take any amount of money and we will pay, and our children will pay. In America, we come here, we take loans, all sorts of loans. And even when we die, our children will still be paying on these houses. So we're not terrified of taking loans. If we will take billions of dollars to build our we will build it. We need skyscrapers in our country. We want our country to be better than Ivory Coast and other people surrounding us. So we need to stop putting fear in people's minds to say that, oh, this is what's going to happen. If we say that, no, that's going to happen. Una Breve can develop a country. Una Breve can develop a place. We will build schools. We're going to build more roads. We'll build libraries. We're going to educate our people. We're going to build more health facilities. So they should just be there worried, because they cannot stop us now from developing our nation. We are on course and no stopping us. Thank you very much, Mr. Su.
Thank you, Mr. Tabasi. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. Those of you that want to give me a call, you can do so. Like I said, I'm going to be getting out of here, and I got 2 more minutes, and I'll be out. Thank you, my brother. And this is what I'm saying as well. Like I said, people, you have the right to say what you want to say. I'm not saying, and once again, I'm not asking you to take my word for it. Do some research. Go out and look it up. Okay. To be able to understand this thing, you have to go a little bit deeper than just taking Samson to a word for it. Okay, and so I know this is a very heated debate that is going on in our community, and some of us saying that perhaps it's not conducive, but hey. If that's what Liberian wants to do, they want to have these kinds of discussion. So be it. So be it. Who am I to stop it? All I'm saying, my own contribution here this morning is this, that we must be able to have the ability to listen to each other. Okay, we must have the ability to listen to each other. I'm not saying you should agree with them. Listen to them. Listen to what they have to say. And in your response, you should also be responsible of what is coming out of your own mouth. Don't use words that will block the other person from listening to you. Don't use words that will make the person to feel insulted. Because if you do that, the conversation is over. Okay? And that's the point that I'm trying to make. That's the point that I'm trying to make. It's been a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Of course, Samson told Labron Public Radio. They're calling again. I can't get off. Okay, let me take this. Samson told Labron Public Radio. Are you calling about the conversation here, or you got something else?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for calling. What's your name and where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
My name, I just read a comment. I just wrote a comment on your page, and my name is Jude Molimbo Wayemo.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm calling from Norway.
From where?
I'm calling from Europe.
Oh, okay. Welcome, my brother. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for calling the Euro this time. Thank you. What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah. I wrote in my comment. I do appreciate the effort being made by the government to build road in Liberia, especially in Southeast. But in doing so, we have to put all the cards on the table. For the matter of fact, we know that previous loan and previous aid have not benefited Liberia. The second question we have to look at is the high level of institutional corruption. We have people that have stolen money from previous government, especially any government working in this very government. We also have to look at the security issue, the security implication. And what I'm driving at is whether the government had tried to go into a contract agreement when it comes to labor force and form the construction of the road network. Because I don't want we getting into conflict after the job is completed. What do I mean? For example, the Burkinabe are very hardworking people in making farms. And they are very good when it comes to entering other people's territory to make farm and do other stuff. We have them in neighboring articles, in conflict with the traditional people when it comes to land conflict. So I've been wondering, I've been asking people, I've been debating the issue on Facebook as to whether government in the contract already stated the limitation of the Burkinabe, the company, when it comes to the labor force. Because we don't want the Burkinabe to be used, and we don't also want the contract between the government of Liberia and the Burkina Faso company to be used as a premises to allow a lot of influence of Burkina in the region. Because now in Liberia, anybody with money can do anything. They can buy land, they can buy a forest with fake documents. And these things, when they're not ready to put under control, they can degenerate into tension in years to come. My point is, I'm not against the government in any way. I do support the government in construction of roads, but we have to take into consideration all precautionary measures in the new Liberia I want to build. I don't want us to build a Liberia that will break down in the future because of other mistakes that could be avoided. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much for calling from Europe, all the way from Europe. We say thank you. God bless you. And we say, please don't be a stranger to Liberian Public Radio, because that's what we do here. We try to open the opportunity for every one of us to contribute to what is transpiring back home. Okay. Thank you very much for your contribution. We appreciate it, sir. Okay, folks, we're way past time. We're going to be getting out here now. So I want to thank all of you that have been listening this morning. It's been a while for me, for you on a Saturday morning. So busy, like get to tune into the Liberian Public Radio and be able to watch us. We appreciate it. All we're trying to do here, when this again, let me just make this point: Liberian Public Radio is not a platform for opposition to the government of the Republic of Liberia. Liberian Public Radio is not a platform for the mouthpiece of the Republic of Liberia either. They can do that for themselves. However, Liberian Public Radio provides a platform for people to express themselves, and the view expressed, I think we should have the ability to know that the view expressed by individuals are those of the individual themselves. We have no copyright to those type of view. So we're not here to tell people what to say and what not to say. All we ask is that we be respectful to each other. Having said that, we also have to be mindful that Liberia belongs to all of us. All of us. One person fail, especially in the case of Liberia, the government. If it fails, we're all gone. So let us do all we can to make sure that we're successful. That will be my parting word this evening. Why am I saying this evening? Because I always come out in the evening. Good morning to you. I'm up. Sam Sinto, Liberian Public Radio. Folks, it's been a wonderful, wonderful morning. Again, we want to thank all of you. Tomorrow, they'll turn into Mr. Soul Show, where he will be able to bring us a nifty, nifty point of view with Liberia. Of course, everything we talk about is Liberia anyway. So I'm going to say good day to all of you. Please stay safe. It's Saturday. If you have to be out, please be careful. Be careful. You're driving on the highway, know your surrounding. Be careful. Be careful. Don't rush. There are people who will be rushing. In fact, the other day as I was coming, yesterday, in fact, coming from work, there was a lady, there was two-lane highway, but there was a lady that was driving. I could see because I have an SUV and she has a one of those sedan, so I could see she had a pants on, but she was using her tie, okay, her tie to control the wheel while she puts on makeup, both hands. Okay, one hand holding the view mirror. The view mirror that's supposed to be looking behind, she had it on your face now. So she was putting her makeup. So if you're driving and doing that on the road, forgetting to know that millions of people driving all around you, million, not million, maybe a few hundreds driving around you at the same time. If you make one mistake, that's somebody's life you put in danger. But you also have to do what if game. Why is somebody put 2, 3 women ahead of me putting on makeup and they collided with each other? What am I going to do? What do I do? Those are the kind of things you put yourself in. Folks, it's been a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Samson Tour, Liberian Public Radio. I want to thank you very much for supporting the Liberian Public Radio. And one last thing, the group that donated to Liberian Public Radio yesterday, we said thank you very much. We really, really do appreciate your donation. It goes a long way because right now, the CEO is telling us we're going to have to come up with some money to do the business in Liberia. And the CEO is very serious. In fact, he's already told us, if you don't pay, you get fired. He's giving us an ultimatum. Pay your due, or you don't pay, you get fired. So I told him yesterday, fire me. Fire me. Yeah, I say fire me. You able to fire the man in Philadelphia? You able? You won't able. You able to fire the man in Sacramento? You won't able. I better start my big mouth. The CEO going to fire people. I mean, I may be money before you fire me. But anyways, all in fun. Mr. Soul, thank you very much for your leadership. We really, really do appreciate it. And as long as you continue to lead us in the right direction, we will follow you. Whatever it is that you want us to do as a group, we will do it together because we're all together. This is Samson Toll. Good afternoon to all of you, and let's have a blessed Saturday. Good evening. Goodbye. Thank you.
mama. Hey, hey, mon amant. Ateito, ateito, ateito. Nalukio na kati ya Kinshasa mobimba mama e. Nabandi na foire fikine. Nakoti na sine paladume, nakoti na raki. Nakoti na sine palace, nakoti na Bellevue. Naleki na tipekae, nakoti na 1, 2, 3. Ateito, 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 mon amour. Hey, hey, mon amant, maman, mon amant. Hey, hey, mon amant. Zambe aneito, nalingi oh mama aneito. Hey, hey, mon amant. Mama aneito, naponi oh mama aneito. Hey, hey, mon amant. Janine amelo, nalingi oh mama amelo. Hey, hey, mon amant. Elongi na yo ekati me monte manga na kolela. Hey, hey, mon amant. Loposo na yo esilisinga na yelenga na kolela. Hey, hey, mon amant. Zambe aneito, nalingi oh mama aneito. Hey, hey, mon amant. Zambe aneito, naponi oh mama aneito. Hey, hey, mon amant. Janine amelo, nalingi oh mama aneito. Hey, hey, mon amant. mon amant. Hey, hey, mon amant. Hey, hey, mon amant. Ateito, ateito, ateito. Nalukio na kati ya Kinshasa bobi mama.